if you are wondering what this is, then you won't have to wonder for much longer, because it's happening right now. It is English Addict coming to you live and direct from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be, well, you know where it is by now. It's England. Oh, hello there. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope you are feeling good today. I hope you are happy as well. Here we are. Everything is a little bit different. I know what you're going to say, Mr. Duncan. You look slightly different. You are in a different place with very unusual surroundings. Well, if you were watching my English Addict lessons a few years ago, before this actually became English Addict, this is what it looked like. This is what the live stream used to look like before I decided to change everything and we had Mr. Steve and myself standing together. But this is how it used to look, and I wanted to go back to something that looked real. So now I am in the studio. I am in a place that is real. I hope you can see me and I hope you can hear me okay. We have lots of people in the studio appearing on my little device down there. My mobile phone is already very busy. I am busy. There is no Mr. Steve at the moment because he is away. He is actually away from me at the moment. Steve has decided to go off to Leeds with his work colleagues. So he is having a little Christmas party at the moment. That is what he is doing. And me, well, I'm left here all on my own. So I'm hoping that you will keep me company today. We also have the live chat, which is very busy. Oh, hello to the live chat. Nice to see you here as well. Oh, we have Vitas in first place. Congratulations, Vitas. You are first on today's live chat. Vitas is first today. So my name is Mr. Duncan. I talk about the English language. You might say that I am an English addict, and I have a feeling perhaps maybe you are one of those as well. I was out and about at the weekend. First of all, can I say sorry about Sunday? We did have some big issues, nothing to do with the studio, but it was connected to the actual internet connection. So the internet connection was not doing what it was supposed to do, which was connect me to you, unfortunately. So that is a shame. However, on Saturday, myself and also Mr. Steve, we went along to an event that takes place every year, the Much Wenlock Christmas Fair, which happens every year, and I thought I would do some filming there as well. So, without any more fuss or delaying, here is what we saw last Saturday at the Much Wenlock Christmas Fair. And it was very lively. So there it was, the atmosphere of the event that took place last weekend. It actually happens every year here in Much Wenlock, the Much Wenlock Christmas Fair. And it was, I suppose it was good fun. It was quite a lot of fun, to be honest. I enjoyed it. Mr. Steve enjoyed it, even though, and I'm going to say it right now, it was freezing cold. I don't know about you, but I can't stand being outside when it's freezing cold. It makes me a little uncomfortable, to say the least. So I'm not a big fan of being freezing cold, if I was honest with you. But we had a good time anyway, and we did eat lots of food as well whilst we were there, although we did notice there were not as many people as there usually is. So unfortunately, we did not see many people actually in Much Wenlock visiting the Christmas fair. Definitely fewer people there last Saturday, and I think one of the main reasons was the weather. The cold weather did put a lot of people off. Also on Sunday, and this was the big thing that I was going to show you on Sunday, despite the fact that the dreaded technology decided not to work properly, I was going to show you some of the snow outside. Sadly, it didn't last very long. If I was honest with you, we didn't have the snow for very long. It did disappear quite quickly. So the snow did not stick around for very long. Something else I want to show you in the garden. We have the birds outside. Would you like to see them? There it is at the moment. We have a live cam outside filming the birds. You can see they are very busy. And we had a rather special visitor this morning visiting and feeding from the bird feeder. This morning we actually had a great spotted woodpecker visiting the bird feeder. And there it was this morning, looking very hungry. And you know, when the food is becoming scarce, when there is very little food around, you will notice that certain birds will start to come into the garden. And this little chap, in fact, it is a male, I can confirm, it is a male great spotted woodpecker, looking very excited there because he has found a lot of food to eat. So that was the scene this morning, and here it is right now. One or two birds are feeding. We have some great tits. In fact, most of them will be either great tits or blue tits, and maybe the occasional nuthatch. Also, some robins have been appearing this morning. So even the robins have become so desperate they are coming to the bird feeder, even though normally robins don't feed from artificial devices such as bird feeders. So normally we don't see the robins actually feeding from the feeders themselves. So you can see how desperate the birds have actually become. They have become so desperate they are actually climbing onto the bird feeder. So we get lots of blackbirds as well. A lot of people ask about the garden. They ask about the birds. And yes, we get many different varieties of birds. At this time of year, we get quite a few chaffinches. Chaffinch, a very colourful bird, and one that usually comes around winter time, or when the weather is becoming unpleasant. Maybe there is rain or maybe snow as well. I have to say, it seems really strange standing here, because I'm looking at my screen. I have my desk here. The camera is in an unusual place. So normally the camera is in front of me, but now the camera is to my side. So everything is slightly different. And you are probably wondering where Mr. Steve will be sitting. Well, he will have his own special corner. On Sunday, Steve will be joining us from his comfortable corner. So don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Steve. He will be joining us on Sunday as well. I have given him a lovely, comfortable place to sit. Today we are looking at making decisions. Are you good at making decisions? In life, I suppose it is true to say that in life we often have to make decisions. Quite often they are small choices, small decisions. You have to decide on, maybe in the morning you have to choose your breakfast. Maybe you have to decide what you are going to have for your breakfast. You might not be too sure what to have. So there are many choices that we have to make in life. Most of them are not very important. However, there might be big choices, big decisions that you have to make in your life. Things that you have to choose. Maybe your career, what you are going to do to earn money in your life. What will be your job? Which profession do you want to go into? So we often discuss decisions and choices when we want to choose a particular thing. Maybe there is a selection of things in front of you, so you can choose one thing. Sometimes you can choose more than one thing. Maybe you are choosing a meal from a menu in a restaurant. Maybe you are deciding what you are going to have for lunch. And a lot of people at the moment are making decisions based on the special season coming up in just a couple of weeks. Christmas is on its way. I'm not sure if it's too early to mention Christmas, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Christmas is on its way and people are making decisions. They are having to choose gifts to buy for their friends and relatives. Have you bought anything for Christmas? A lot of people this year have been waiting. I did notice, because a few days ago we had the Black Friday sales, and I did notice that there were not many bargains. And I think this year many people are keeping their money in their pocket. They're not spending that much money on Christmas. And I suppose I can understand why that would be the case, because, to be honest, the price of everything has gone up. I've noticed, last week I went into the shop to buy a packet of biscuits, just a very simple packet of biscuits. Do you know how much that packet of biscuits was? £3. £3 for a packet, one packet of biscuits. £3. It's nearly £10 for a jar of coffee. So if you want to buy some dried coffee, so you can make your coffee quickly, £10 for a jar or a can of dried coffee. Can you believe how expensive everything is? So people are complaining this year that they don't have as much money as they normally do. And I think a lot of people are cutting back. They are cutting back. They are not spending so much money. It would appear that some people are also making the same messages and thoughts here on the live chat. Let me just move my equipment over slightly. You see, this is very strange because everything now is different. It's all in a different place. And to be honest with you, I'm not used to it. Yes, I think some people are not spending so much money at Christmas time. Who else is here today on the live chat? Oh, hello to Beatrice. Hello, Beatrice. It's nice to see you here. I hope you like the new look in my studio. I'm standing up, and as you know, I don't like sitting down, so I am actually standing up as usual in the studio. We also have Giovanni, and Claudia is here as well. I am here with my father now. So Claudia, are you visiting your father at the moment? Please let me know, and can you say a big hello to him from me? I will give him a wave right now. Hello, Claudia's dad. I hope you're feeling okay. We also have Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you here as well. Aziz is here as well. Apparently, it's very warm in Algeria. Well, all I can say is you are very lucky, because here in England, well, especially today, it is freezing once again. So as you noticed from my thumbnail for today's live stream, you might have noticed that there is a lot of cold weather around on my thumbnail, and that is because there is a lot of cold weather around. It's freezing at the moment. Beatrice says, I like your new studio. Well, this is the first time I've showed it to anyone live. So when I started my live stream today, that was the first time that I've actually tried using the studio. So that is the reason why I look slightly disorientated today, because everything is in a different place. It's not in the place where it normally is. So I have to say, it does feel very strange indeed. And the good thing about this is I didn't have to spend any money on the new studio, because I had all of this stuff already from the last time I had the studio like this. So I did have a lot of stuff in storage. So I didn't have to spend any money on this because I had it all already. Very nice. Hello, Edward Lee. Hello, Edward. Thank you for joining my live stream. This is English Addict. We are looking at making decisions, choosing things, making choices, and also making small decisions and also big decisions as well. All of that coming up a little bit later on. But before that, I know a lot of people love this, and I'm going to show it, and I make no apologies for doing it. You know what's coming next. Just before we get into today's topic, here are the lovely, sadly no longer here, they have gone, the lovely, cute cows. some lovely sights there from the year that is about to come to an end, unfortunately. English Addict is with you, and yes, we are live, as live can be. Ooh, very nice. It is good to see you today. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan. Yes, we are live again. Thank you very much for joining me today. We have some lovely messages coming through on the live chat. Thank you very much for joining me. And we have a lot of people who want to say hello. Hello to Rhubarb. Hello Rhubarb. Nice to see you here today. Also Ariel. Hello Ariel. Thank you very much. And a big special hello to you for your super chat. Thank you very much. Don't forget, by the way, and this is something I haven't mentioned yet, don't forget to give me a lovely like as well, please. If you like this, then please give me a lovely thumbs up, because this will help me to be seen on YouTube. And if there's one thing I've noticed over the past couple of years, it is becoming harder and harder to be seen on YouTube. And I suppose the more you like it, the more people will get to see what I do. Lewis says your studio looks a little bit like your old studio when you first started doing your live streams in 2016. You are right. I suppose it is a little similar to that. Thank you, Lewis. You are right. And Rhubarb says a very similar thing. Mr. Duncan, it looks like you have gone back to your old good times when you had your lovely studio with lots of special things, lots of lovely stuff. When you talk about things in a general sense, we often use the term stuff. It's another way of saying things, stuff, the things that you need, the things that you use, your stuff. Rhubarb also notices that I was sitting down before, so when the studio was over here, I used to sit in a chair. But as you know, I don't like sitting down. I am not a big fan of sitting in a chair for too long. So just like before, I am still standing upright. I hope you don't mind that. I miss your outside walks, Mr. Duncan, says Giovanni. Well, at this time of year, I will be honest, it is a little harder for me to do that sort of thing because the weather has been really bad. We have had a lot of rain. There is a lot of flooding around here. We had a brief period of snow last weekend. It snowed, and then the snow quickly went away because it started raining. So we've had some very strange weather over the past few days, and apparently it's going to become very mild, very warm over the next few days, and then we will get even more rain. And it's not unusual to have high temperatures during December, because I remember many years ago on Christmas Day it was actually 17 Celsius. Now, I think that must be going back around 12 or 13 years. But the temperature was very high on Christmas Day. So it can happen. You can have high temperatures even at Christmas. So sometimes it can be very warm even on Christmas Day. So have you decided to make any plans for Christmas yet? I know I haven't. We haven't put the Christmas tree up yet. So I will be doing that over the next 2 or 3 days. We have some parties. We have invited some friends. Some friends and relatives have invited us to see them. So we have all sorts of social engagements to come. And as you know, I am not a big fan of social engagements. I don't really like socializing too much. I don't know why. I suppose it's something from my childhood. I didn't like it when I was young, and I don't like it now. So I'm not a very big fan of socializing. It doesn't mean that I hate people completely, but it just means that I find it a little bit too much to be in social situations with lots of people around me. I like to be here in my cosy studio, or maybe sharing some lovely moments with friends or special relatives. Isn't that nice? Hello to Beatrice, says your new studio looks nice. We like it. Thank you very much. I might make some small changes. I might make some slight alterations over the next 2 or 3 weeks as we go on. I'm also going to be adding a Christmas tree in here. I don't know where I'm going to put it because there is so much stuff around my studio, but I will hopefully do that as well. So let's have a look at today's subject, shall we? Very quickly we will go through this and then I will say goodbye to you until Sunday. So I will be with you on Sunday. Don't worry, nothing has changed. The studio looks slightly different, but besides that, everything is very much the same. Today we are taking a look at making decisions, making choices. In life, it is true, we often have to make decisions. Most of them are small and unimportant. However, sometimes we have to make big decisions, very important choices. So I'm going to go through some of the ways of expressing making a decision. Here we go. To make your mind up. If you make your mind up, it means you are coming to a decision. You are trying to decide. So you make your mind up. So we can talk about the process of making a decision. You are making your mind up. You are trying to make a choice. Or you make your mind up. So that means the actual action that is taking place, or you have made up your mind, or you have made your mind up, which means you have reached a decision. So when you have made your mind up, it means you have made your choice. You have come to a decision. You make a choice. Quite often you have more than one thing or two things or three things or maybe many things, and you have to make a choice. As I mentioned earlier, perhaps if you are having a meal with friends, you will have to choose what to eat. You will choose what is on the menu. You will make a choice. So you can choose one thing, or maybe you choose more than one thing. So to make a choice isn't necessarily one thing. Your choice can be more than one thing. It can be one choice or more than one thing that you are trying to decide or you are trying to choose. You come to a decision. You make a decision. You come to a decision. We often say that you reach a decision. So you have made your choice and now you are going to tell the person or you are going to announce what that choice is. You come to a decision. You can express your choice. There are many things that you can choose. You might choose when to take your holiday. So a lot of people at this time of year are deciding, they are choosing when they are going to take time off work. So it is another type of choice. You express your choice by telling someone what your decision is. I have decided to have 2 weeks off this Christmas. That is what Mr. Steve said to me the other day. So Steve will be taking 2 weeks off from work, which I'm looking forward to, I have to be honest. As you may know, Steve went back to work this year. He was retired for a short period. But for some reason, don't ask me why, Steve decided to go back to work. So he will be taking a little bit of time off from his job. You express your choice. You show your preference. So when we describe something as being a preference, it is the thing that you prefer. I prefer to eat KFC. I prefer to eat McDonald's. You are making your choice. You are showing your preference. So perhaps someone will ask you to make a choice. Maybe they will say, where do you want to go to eat? Would you like to go to McDonald's or KFC? And then you will show your preference. You will show your decision. You will make a decision based on the thing that you like. If I had the choice, and I'm sure you're going to ask me, Mr. Duncan, what would your choice be? I suppose I would choose KFC. I do like Kentucky Fried Chicken, I have to be honest. And I think Mr. Steve also now likes KFC very much. So I would say that that is my preference and also Mr. Steve's preference as well. You might give your verdict. So this might seem like a very strange word to use when making a decision, but your verdict can also be what you decide. The verdict, maybe you are deciding whether to like something or dislike it. So that is a decision. So sometimes a decision can be based on whether or not you like something. You reach a verdict. You make a decision. Maybe if you go to court, maybe if you go to a court of law, quite often the judge or the jury will make a decision. They give their verdict. So they are deciding if you are guilty of your crime or not, based on the evidence they have heard, which is very interesting. So there are many ways of expressing decisions, making decisions. There are many ways of expressing them. You decide on what you want. You decide on what you want. Again, a choice that is offered to you, perhaps when you go out for a meal. Maybe there is a menu. Maybe you have to make a choice. You decide on what you want from the shops. Maybe a person is going to the shops for you and they will buy things, but you have to make your choice. You have to decide what you want. You decide on what you want from the shops. So that is another type of decision. Then, of course, we have the opposite of making a decision, because some people are not very good at making decisions. I can think of someone straight away. Do you know who I'm talking about? There is one particular person who is not very good at making decisions. Do you know who I'm talking about? I'm sure you do. I think you do. A person who can't make a decision. They are not very good at making a choice. For example, I will use Mr. Steve as an example. Steve is not very good at making choices or decisions about anything. He normally takes a very long time. For example, over the past few weeks, he has been deciding on what to do with his car. He wanted to get some new tyres for his car. So what he normally does is he goes onto the internet and he spends many, many hours looking at the different types of tyres for his car that he can drive not only during the winter but also during the summer as well. It can go on for many weeks. So some people are not very good at making a decision. I suppose I'm quite good at doing it, although sometimes I do make the wrong decision. We all do it. Sometimes the decision we make or the thing we choose is the wrong thing. It can happen from time to time. So if a person can't come to a decision, it means, well, if you are doing it, it means you can't make up your mind. You can't make up your mind. It is hard to make a decision. It is hard to come to a conclusion. I don't know what to choose. I don't know what to buy. You have given me a choice, and I can't make a decision. It is very hard to come to a decision. So sometimes it is very hard to make up your mind, to make a choice. Sometimes it is very hard to do. Sometimes there might be too many choices. There might be so many choices for you to make that you can't choose one thing. Again, I suppose a good example would be going to a restaurant. It happens. Sometimes everything on the menu looks delicious, and it's so hard to make a choice. It's so hard to decide what you want to have from the menu. So it can happen quite often when you are making a choice or trying to make a decision. You might have too many choices. There might be too many things for you to choose from, and that can cause problems. Here's a great word: a person who cannot decide. Quite often they will dither. It's a great word. I will do it very close up to the microphone so you can hear the word. Dither. Dither. You dither. Dither. Do you ever dither? A person who dithers is a person who can't make up their mind. Shall I have this or shall I have that? I don't know what to do. There are so many choices. Shall I go there or shall I stay at home? Shall I go to the party or shall I go to the wedding reception? I don't know what to do. There are so many choices. I dither. I can't make up my mind. It does happen quite a lot. Sometimes it is hard to make a decision or to make a choice. It does take a long time. If a person is doing that, you might say to them, please make your mind up. Please make your mind up. Please make a decision. Please make a choice. Please, can you make one choice? Choose the thing that you want. Please make your mind up. As we said earlier, if you make your mind up, it means you come to a decision. So if we say to someone, please make your mind up. Please make your mind up. Please make a decision. Please make a choice. We are all waiting. There is nothing worse than waiting for someone to make a decision. It can be very frustrating, to say the least. Another word we can use to describe a person who cannot make a choice. You procrastinate. Procrastinate. A person who procrastinates is a person who can't quite decide what to do, or maybe they hesitate. They don't know what decision to make. Shall I do this or shall I do that? Or maybe I will do nothing at all. Maybe it is easier. And this is something a lot of people do. Sometimes it is easier to do nothing than to make a choice. A person might procrastinate. I do it, and I'm sure maybe sometimes you do it. You put things off. You don't want to make a choice. You don't want to start doing something because maybe there is a lot of work involved. So instead, you procrastinate. I do it. It is not good. It is not good for the human soul. It is definitely not good for your mind, to be honest. So procrastination can be a very bad thing indeed. To be undecided means you haven't made up your mind. We describe a person as undecided. Maybe there is an election taking place in your country and you have to choose who you want to vote for to lead your country. So you might choose your favourite politician, or you might have no idea which one to vote for. Who do I vote for? I am undecided. I can't choose. So quite often, and I think this happens whenever there is an election taking place, we often find that the people who are trying to get the votes, they are very interested in those who are undecided. So a person who has not made a decision, they are very important to those who are standing for election. It can make a very big difference. Of course, we have the opposite. We have easy decisions. This morning when I woke up, I was trying to decide what to wear on today's live stream. And then I realised I didn't have to worry. I can just wear my English Addict t-shirt. Do you like this? Do you like the back? Even the back of my t-shirt is very interesting because it has my YouTube channel name. You see? Yeah. Very nice. So even on the back there is something to look at. An easy decision was what to wear for my live stream. I decided to wear my white t-shirt and my white baseball cap. And of course, the all-important this, you know what I'm talking about. Mistakes are important, says Giovanni. It is true, we all make mistakes. I suppose the hardest part about making a mistake in life is admitting the mistake. It is not easy for a person to say that they were wrong. So maybe making the wrong decision is something that we do from time to time. And then, of course, we have the opposite, which is a hard decision, a difficult decision. Maybe you have to choose between things that are all good. Or maybe you have to make a difficult decision that might be harmful to another person. For example, perhaps you are the manager of a group of people at work, and the boss of the company comes to you and says you have to fire one person from your team. They have to go. You have to tell them that they are no longer required. So you will have to choose which person you will fire, which person will go. So that could be described as a hard decision. It is a difficult decision to make. It is not an easy choice to make. So there are many ways of expressing making a decision. And we've looked at some of those today. What about you? Are you good at making decisions? Do you sometimes put off, delay? Do you ever procrastinate? I think it is something that happens quite often. And to be honest, personally, I think it is just another part of human nature. Sometimes we don't like to rush in to a decision. So there is a way of expressing the action of deciding too quickly. You rush in to something. I know a lot of people, and I know they are out there somewhere. There are people who feel as if they have rushed in to getting married. I'm not saying anything else. But sometimes it happens. Maybe we make a decision and maybe we think afterwards. Maybe we regret making that decision. Maybe we feel as if that decision was not a good one. Maybe we rushed in to that decision. We chose too quickly. We didn't think carefully before we made our choice. Hello, Lena. Lena is here. Hello, Lena. I have not seen you for a long time, so a big hello to you. I will be going soon, but don't worry, do not despair, because I will be back on Sunday. I promise I will be with you. Steve will be here. I have fixed my internet problems, and I'm hoping next year, because this is something that is happening at the moment in the UK, they are converting all of the phone lines, the telephone lines. Everything is being converted to digital, which means everyone will get super fast broadband connections. So at the moment we don't have it here because I live in the countryside, but hopefully at the beginning of next year there will be some changes made, which means I will be able to broadcast in super high definition. I know at the moment I'm not. My definition at the moment is only 720p, which technically isn't full high definition. So that's the reason why I don't broadcast in 1080p, which is full HD. I don't do that because we don't have the connection at the moment. We don't have a very fast broadband connection. So I hope that answers your question. But next year, hopefully everything will change. We will get super fast broadband, hopefully, next year. I'm being very patient about it, if I was honest. It is almost time to go as we approach 3 o'clock here in the UK. I will see you on Sunday. Don't forget, the usual time, 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm here with you. And I hope today's lesson has been useful, some useful information. We've had some time together. Also, there will be some new short English lessons. I am in the process of making lots and lots of short English lessons that will be on quite an interesting feature that YouTube has now called YouTube Shorts, which are very short videos. Very similar to, I think it's very similar to what people are doing now on TikTok. But here on YouTube, we also now have YouTube Shorts. So I am making some of those and I will be posting those over the next few days. I can safely say that December is going to be a very busy month. indeed. I will see you on Sunday. Take care, and I will see you very soon. This is Mr. Duncan saying thank you for watching. Don't forget also to give me a lovely like as well. If you like what you see, please give me a lovely thumbs up, and I will see you on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. And of course, until the next time we meet, right here in my new look studio, hopefully it will still be working on Sunday. You know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and of course, ta-ta for now. See you on Sunday. It's still working. Great.